Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com. This is the chart for the full moon. It occurs on the 30th of December at 3:28 a.m. in the UK. And I'm using whole signs for the houses, and I've put the Sun, Mercury, Pluto in Capricorn on the left there. You can see that's Capricorn here. And the moon is, of course, always at a full moon, it's in the opposite sign. So the moon is in her own sign of Cancer, and that's true every year. When the sun's in Capricorn, the full moon will be in Cancer. So this is very much about government, Capricorn, those in authority, responsible leaders, and the moon, family, emotions, feelings. And family, of course, has been really struggling to keep up. I'm talking about the UK, with the conflicting information we keep getting about the pandemic and how to behave. So the Mercury is very close. It's moving away now from the sun. You can see that it's a good distance now, 5 degrees away roughly. And Mercury, the messenger planet that to do with the news, is going to go through and touch upon Pluto, and then Saturn, and then Jupiter. So it is very important, that planet, about what is going on in the media. And I'm heartened to hear some good news about the press and Fox News in the US. Basically, being more truthful. The truth is so important. And the North Node is in Mercury's sign. The South Node is in the sign of Sagittarius. So there's a big conflict with these two signs because Gemini is curious. It wants to explore the news, the media, all of this information. And Sagittarius is about our beliefs and the truth especially. Now, Saturn and Jupiter are now in the sign of Aquarius, which is good news because they're no longer right next to Pluto in Capricorn. That's a good omen for the next 20 years. That cycle begins. And it is an air sign, Aquarius. Now, Venus, it's a very striking pattern here. We've got Venus with the South Node exactly, and then it's at a right angle to Neptune exactly. So Venus is about personal love, and Neptune is about universal or unconditional love. So the two would, they're compatible, but here there's a conflict. And that could well be, the dreams, the ideals that Neptune wants very much in its own sign. And of course, pleasure, enjoyment is to do with Venus. And in the UK, I suppose, many parts of the world now, because of the pandemic, the places that we would go to, like the cinema, the theatre, any place where we feel uplifted, concerts, of course, are basically, they're not there. And that has a huge effect, I believe, on the psyche of us all in the UK. And of course, across the world. I'm not just talking, I am in the UK, so it's where I'm reporting from. Now, Venus, Sagittarius, because it's with the South Node, could well be bringing up old feelings, past loves, unrequited love, heartbreaks, your beliefs about love. All of these things are Sagittarius, the sign of optimism, but also this deep grief. And any pandemic, any flu is very much about the lungs, which is about grief. And I've written it before, the Spanish flu after the First World War was also very much about grief and that loss. Mars, the warrior planet, will be moving a sign very soon. Mars changes on the 6th of January into Taurus, and there it's going to come and join Uranus. That's the real date of the whole year when Mars joins Uranus is you expect the unexpected, is one way of putting it. It happens to be that conjunction right on the day of the inauguration in the US of A. So I'm just praying for a very peaceful and good outcome of that very important presidency that's about to begin. Now, as I said, we've got a lot of energy because Mercury is moving fast. It goes through Capricorn, enters Aquarius, but right by the end of the month, on the 30th of January, it will go retrograde. Welcome, Mercury in retrograde. It happens 3 times a year, and this year, will be in air signs, which is where Mercury likes. It likes air. That's the whole point of it. It likes communication. So that's a date for your diary, especially if you are, of course, a Gemini and Virgo both. Now, what else can I say? We have Mars going to Taurus on the 6th. On the 8th, we'll have Mercury into Aquarius. And also that day, Venus moves into Capricorn. So that's an important date, the 8th of the month. On the 19th, the Sun goes to Aquarius. And then February the 1st, Venus will go into Aquarius. So we've got a lot of energy at the moment, Capricorn energy, but then Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, Saturn, Jupiter, a whole 20-year cycle begins. It's a real economic cycle. It might not affect you personally. However, if you do have a birthday on that particular day, that day they joined, which was the solstice, then it will affect you in some way. And Saturn is all about responsibility. Jupiter is all about the opposite, is generous optimism, etc. So very much these planets are talking about being a harbinger of change. And the networks, the community that are very powerful and strong. And to me, I'm really focusing on what do I look at in the news? What do I look at on Facebook? And if somebody is not promoting positivity, then I'm not interested. I don't want to know about what I know all about already. And I really don't want to know about conspiracy theories. I've never been somebody to go down that route, shall we say. So being open-minded, Aquarius is a fixed air sign. What fixed means is stubborn. Most people know that about Taurus, and Scorpio, and Leo. They're fixed signs of the zodiac. So they bring stability. However, Aquarius can be fixed mental ideas. It's, it looks like, it's the water bearer, and you think, oh, great. Aquarians are very much to do with the future as well. But there is that shadow to every sign. And the fixed quality, when used well, brings, as I said, stability. But there's also that stubbornness. So be aware of that if you have a lot of planets in the sign of Aquarius. Jupiter is moving fast, I can tell you. It often does that. It's going to race through Aquarius and it will enter into Pisces around the summertime. And then go retrograde, come back, etc. But also notice it will go into its own sign of Pisces. That's to come. It's not there yet, but it's ahead. And I have to mention now, I know this is a full moon chart, the 12th of January is a new moon chart, is a very striking chart right at the end of Capricorn. When I say striking, we have Mars squaring Saturn. There's Mars there. It will be in a Taurus, the fixed sign of Taurus. And that's conflict. That's real stubborn procrastination type thing, anger. And it's important not to be caught up in that. That's my counsel for you at this time. But lay low. Venus, as I said, could well be bringing up a lot of heartbreaks for you. The past is there. It needs to be healed. It needs to have reverence and remembrance. It's another word that's very much to do with the sign of Cancer. Remembering those that we've lost, those that we've loved, those that we wanted to love but it wasn't returned. That's the unrequited love. But also not to wallow in that. It's to be honoured, revered, but also Venus, as I said, is moving fast. So we have like a time of year and embracing that new year, which is just around the corner. So thank you for watching. Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com.